Yippers, and it's morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to anyone out there listening to me this early in the morning. Congratulations, you've made it through another day. Now, for those of you who know me, I am Joe Nunez, and welcome to Mornings with Joe, a cup of Joe, or whatever Joes you know, Joes you don't know. But yeah. So anyway, welcome to my live stream, and I'm starting to do this. I'm pretty rookie at this, and I'm pretty much going to be talking to whoever's watching out there, and whoever needs a little pick me up. I usually need one in the morning before I start now. Um, Motivation, man. I don't know where it comes from. Sometimes I think like it can come from a variety of different places. What are your thoughts, and where do you think your driving motivation for creating anything, for building your projects, or just getting or just like, is it a cup of coffee? Is it you got to work out in the morning? Do you have to bombard yourself with tons of news and loud music? Do you need that motivational music to kind of get your gears going? That's what we're really talking about here. Is we're talking about what it is to kind of like plan things out for your day. Do you go into your day as a creative without any plan? Do you go in with a plan that you've already had mapped out for the whole year because you're that I don't know, controlling and well thought out? I don't know. I think it all depends on the person, right? We have to figure out what it is that keeps us moving. Now, for me, I'm motivated by ideas, moments, by music, especially music. Music usually inspires me to do a lot, or it just keeps me in the zone so I can keep working on whatever task I'm working on. It could be something mundane that I'm going through. Maybe I'm working on a project where I'm doing graphic edits and text um, text editing, layouts and balancing and things like that, and I have to do it across multiple different documents. Now, it doesn't sound very sexy or exciting, but it is part of my day to day, and even trying to come up with ideas for new content for like, I would say, um, hold on. I'm trying to think here. You're gonna have to give me 1 second. I think if I'm over here, why is the no? It's not on mute. Hmm. Customization unsolved. Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna put this thing on max and see. It's not. Hello. Hello. So it is going to be this room. Okay, what is happening? All right. Who cares? Whatever. No. No. Earth to Matilda. Well, anyway, so here I am. It's the live stream. Mindless sketch. I'm motivated to get things done. So let's get right into it. So seriously, what is it? What do you guys out there think about on your way to work? What's the first thing that you do when you get in your car? Do you turn on the radio? You listen to your podcast? Are you listening to? Are you flipping through? you know, for those of you that go through your text messages and some of your recordings later from messages that you haven't gotten back to from the other day. I don't know. Are you daydreaming? Who knows? Or maybe you're partaking in a particular hashish of some sort and just zoning out. There are things that we love to do in the morning, or you could be having, your favorite sandwich. You got to think about like those days that you really took time to kind of like notice things around you. I don't know if you guys do that, but I definitely do, especially if I'm out and about right before I head to work and get things going. If I can find like a place that's like um really kind of like niche and unique looking, especially when I used to like travel in New York, I used to kind of like look for these little places, and sometimes they would be mom and pops like sandwich shops and stuff. And I would people watch. I'd observe, and sometimes I engage with people, but usually like observe, you know, and or slightly listen in on conversations. And it's sometimes where you see these, I don't know, these scenes of people walking about, going about their lives, and then you wonder, what's their destination? Where are they going to next? What what does this person got going around them? Or even you could be standing in line, getting frustrated because somebody is indecisive at the front of the counter trying to order a cup of coffee. Now, coffee is not complicated, but the person in front of you is being really indecisive, or maybe the person behind them is being really aggressive because they're impatient. And and then all these scenes are happening around you, and I can't help to kind of like take note of those things and use it later as ammunition for like if I'm working on something where I need a scene like that, or something unique about that scene just spreads into some its own journey on its own. I remember there's a film, if you're familiar with it, it's called The Following. And in The Following, the movie is basically about just a person noticing someone and deciding to follow them where they are. I know, it's crazy. But The Following was, I believe that's Christopher Nolan. Let me double check. The Following film by what director? Director. Are you not going to tell me? Yeah, it's probably him. I'm pretty sure it's Chris Nolan. Hey Siri, Who directed the following? Yep, it's Christopher Nolan. I got him right here. Look, he's right there. Yeah, so Christopher Nolan, he had made this film, and it's black and white. And this person follows this person that breaks into other people's apartments, and it becomes this whole thing where he starts, kind of like falling in love with the idea of breaking into following strangers and breaking you know, uh, into their houses, and they're basically burglars, and he's following the life of the burglar. And there's a lot more to it. You guys need to watch it, but it's just kind of like unique take on just taking an everyday moment and really taking it to left field somewhere else. And I think that's what we're always looking for, is to try to find a unique take on something, because most of the stories that we come up with have already been done, right? And I particularly love to see reimagining of particular concepts. I'm not saying um like reimagining of classic IP that is so ingrained in culture. That's like, remaking the Goonies, or, the original Ghostbusters. I mean, they did it, but they just brought it in just so that there's a younger crowd that would watch it, right? But these things are, especially like a lot of 80s movies, John Hughes movies, um, it really took over the culture at that time. And then we have some of our most beloved movie directors that grew up during that time as well, or flourished during that time. We really had a grit in our films, and I think we lost it because it's very polished now. Everything's very polished and clean. Nobody wants to take risks anymore. But before I go any further into that rabbit hole, it's where do you find yourself this morning? Like, what is it that you know? Is there like a film, a book? What are you working on today? And that's really what I think is something that we always ask ourselves: is the thing that I'm working on worth the time that I'm investing in? Now, if you're doing something for a job, that's different. You have to get it done anyway, no matter what, right? Otherwise, you don't get paid, right? But if it's something that is coming from you, whether it's a book, you're working on music, whether you're crafting some amazing, you know, thing, I don't know, just come up with anything. You could be sculpting something. You could be building something in your backyard uh, that is going to be very useful for you. And I don't know. I don't know what that is, but let me see. Let me just look over here. I just want to see. I think like you sometimes you have to think about what is it that is slowing me down. So what is it that's slowing you down? Is it problems at home? Is it problems in your relationship? Is it are you away from family? Are you suffering through addiction? Are you suffering through, some kind of midlife crisis? Um, a lot of people believe they have like a idea or, writer's block, right? And I think in this, around these times, when you have low energy, what do you do to counter that low energy? Do you exercise? Do you know, read self-help books? Do you reach out to a friend? What is it that is actually, you listen to motivational speakers to tell you what to do and to, you know, get get yourself going, right? Stop fooling around and stop messing about and just get right to it. Go, 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 go. You know, what is it that is going to break you out of it? And to be honest, whenever I'm in that space, I need a lot, a lot of time for self-reflection, just to kind of, and then sometimes you have to break out of the self-reflection and not dwell into it too much, because then that becomes, where you're there too much to overanalyze, that you're not doing anything to change, right? So I know, because I've gone through it myself. I've hit some pretty low energy points, and it's not fun. The brain will trick you into believing what you believe, and it can be false. Most of the time, it is. It's not true. Whatever your inside voice and head is telling you is full of shit. Okay? It's just you talking at you, saying that you can't do this, or it's too much for you to handle, and then you believe it. And then you'll enter in these ideas of other people feeling the same way, but they've never even expressed that to you. And that's the mind-blowing thing about it, is that the power of the mind is just so freaking infectious, and it could be crippling if you're not too careful. And if you add on top of it any kind of substance abuse, or it's just masking the whole thing, and then you're really not gonna be able to get out of it. So it's important to watch those telltale signs, right? Getting out of your comfort zone is, as cliche as that might sound, you gotta do it. Sometimes you gotta, the old phrase, you gotta take the bull by the horns, right? You really have to lock in and take control. A lot of those times it's easier said than done, but I think what it is, it's like small victories. If you're feeling overwhelmed about something, they can't get to the thing that you really want to work on, you got to start chipping away, right? You start chipping away at that big obstacle that's keeping you from what you really want to do. And that is going to open up a whole different world for you, because when you look back, you're going to see how you took out that huge obstacle. You didn't do it all in one shot. You did it piece by piece, but you did it, right? And now these, even if you now have the position to do what you want to do, now you're up against a new thing, right? Now it's going to be the fear of failure, fear of success, the fear of everything. Fear, 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 fear. That's all we're filled with. Fear. And fear is, I don't know, recipe for the devil's playground again. Now you're in there. You're self-reflecting, self-loathing, self-analyzing, self, right? And then you're not actually getting to the root of you just being you, right? When are you going to allow yourself to be you and tell stories and tell people you matter, you exist, you're ready to take on whatever comes to you. And life can be overbearing, but there will be times where you're gonna feel like you cannot handle it, but you always have to remember, man. Like self-love is so important. Like I don't know where we got off on this idea of so much over humbling is bullshit. You can't be so humble. You have to stand up and be loud and be proud of whatever it is. Yourself, your ideas, what you stand for, the people you love, the people that you will protect. That is the motivation. Like everything else, whatever you're doing at your job, wherever you're headed to, that is a means to an end, right? It's a paycheck. It's something for you to be able to sustain yourself by providing food, shelter, and entertainment, right? So, but when it comes to why do we do what we do, it's because we're humans and we want to exist and be happy with what we have. And we have to be happy even in the times that we're sad. And we're meaning not being happy when you're sad, but just like allowing yourself to be sad at points when it's rightfully so for you to feel that way. And I feel like sometimes we don't allow ourselves to feel a certain way. Why? Because we think that, we have to be a certain way. We have to act accordingly to the status quo for your, how do you have to act for work? How do you have to act professionally? How you have to be with other people? You have to fall in line to what their ideas are. But their ideas are not your ideas. You can respectfully, uh, you know, you can respect them for their ideas, and then you are who you are. So the whole thing is just kind of really understand who you are and be present and be the person that you really want to be, because after that, that is most of being comfortable in your own skin and being confident in all the things that you do will put you in a position to make better judgment calls for yourself, because now you are not subject to a self-loathing or some kind of big dramatic event that's happening and you fold. So now you're in a position to recalibrate yourself and actually pivot in a way so that you don't let that take you down and you still get to accomplish the things that you want to do day to day. And I know this was supposed to be a really quick freaking message, but I think it's my first time, so please bear with me. And I do want to kind of like have these, wake up in the morning, cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever, having it with me. Shout out to Playos if you're out there. And, really kind of explore the things that really hinder you from being creative or hinder you from being, you know, um motivated or what's it called? What's that word? What's that word when you do a lot of stuff? Oh, you do stuff. You're being responsible, and you're doing things that you're accomplishing tasks, and you're being efficient, right? So, and constructive. You're being constructive. That's what I was looking for. But you know, until you know what's stopping you from being constructive, until you know what that is, it's really hard for you to make a move. And for first is respecting yourself, and then respecting others, and then finding your own way and pushing through. And then once you get there, you're golden. So anybody else out there want to talk about how they feel about this? You're more than welcome to. I'm still thinking about what I want to do for, like, today. I have a couple of things that I need to do. I'm also going to be helping to produce a couple other podcasts, and it's easier to produce for somebody else because you're the outsider looking in. When you're doing it on your own, it's a little more it's a little more difficult, right? But I really want you guys to really get to know me, get to know why I do the things that I do, and or really make sense of what I actually do. Most people still think it's a mystery, but to me, I do a bit of everything. I'm involved in so much. It's hard to kind of like say in a nutshell what I am, but I am a creative. I'm a producer. I am a director, and an artist in all aspects, in all generality. Um, so I hope you give some insight for that, and try to see how this works out, how the quality of it of the content is for you, and I can readjust. I'm definitely not going to make this like a 30-minute thing. I really don't want to do that. I want to jump in here, talk for maybe like 10 minutes max, and then be out. Because like people got things to do. You're probably in your car, you're on the train. I don't know if my voice even makes you guys like want to listen to me. And not that it matters, but sorry, I had to, you know, all things considered, for me, I just want to make sure that I bring in some ideas that might click something for you, and then you're ready to go, tackle that day, get things done, and, you know, bring something beautiful to the world, right? So if you're out there and you're ready to freaking tackle whatever it is that you got to work on today, you're going to be successful. Just take it straight on. Don't be scared about it, and everything will work out. All right. So until then, thanks again. And this is the Mindless Sketch Show. And I'll see you another morning. Until the next morning. All right. Take care. Oh, nobody's going to cut. Oh, I guess I have to cut it myself. All right, guys. Don't worry.